After playing Elden Ring for over thousands of hours, I wanted to see if the impossible could be done. Can you beat Elden Ring using only fist weapons and nothing else? I spent countless hours planning out and practicing this run to try and achieve the impossible. So I hope you all enjoy my attempt at the hardest Elden Ring challenge to ever be attempted. Are you gonna be able to do this run? I don't know. Lots of practice put into it. Let's choose Samurai, which is the strongest class. We're gonna need every bit of help we can get because this is a very hard run. I have probably like thousands of hours in the game, and 90% of them are just practicing this run. So now obviously we don't start with the fist weapon. No starting class starts with the fist weapon. So we're gonna have to use a weapon to get a fist weapon, but that's okay. So this first boss, actually, as long as you trigger the fight, you can actually skip it and it saves time. Now this isn't like a speed run, but it's my first time putting all the segments together. Like I said earlier, put in thousands of hours of practice, if not more, for this run, honestly. So it's my first time kind of stringing it all together. I think I've built up enough confidence to do so. Pop a rune on the elevator. You can be the fists only? That's what we're here to find out. Well, fist weapons. Fists only would be ridiculous. Honestly, that'd probably be easier, actually. Okay, so the fist weapons that we're gonna be using, at least the first one, will be the iron balls. I will be buying sleep pots to help for later, as you guys will see. Thought those were near unusable. Are not a better first option? Not really. The iron balls are not the best, but that's why we, halfway through the run or so, a bit before halfway, we'll be switching to these star fists, which aren't the strongest either. They're a bit better than the iron balls. So, is there a specific reason you decided to do this run with a notoriously bad weapon class, trying to help out a lesser player? I just wanted to challenge myself and see if it was kind of possible. Yeah, I mean, that's really it, just for a challenge, right? A lot of people do challenge runs, right? And I thought I'd try one out for myself. A consistent strategy to get the iron balls, because they drop from, you see, we just picked up the flail. Got hit there. That's unavoidable, actually. To get the iron balls is to kill the one NPC guy who drops them, and the flail makes it very easy to do so. Even still, though, it probably is like 100 hours or so of practice. Maybe more like 120. Nice golden seed. That'll be huge. Strength not tier, +10. +10 strength. Ooh, watch that jump. Okay. Normally, I would get Golden Vow there for testing with the Uchi, but we gotta use a fist weapon, so we'll come back for that. Crazy for doing this run. Anything for content. So here's actually 2 more smithing stones. Nice. That brings us to 6, and we're about to buy 3 more right here. Boom, 3 more. Another cracked pot. Need a little bit more money. I want to buy this short sword for later. You'll see this super secret tech of putting Golden Vow on the short sword. It's pretty crazy. And then here we get 3 Trina's Lilies. Very important for later for the sleep pot, which coming up here, we will get the sleep pot recipe. There's the sleep pot recipe and some golden runes. Nice. That's some really good starting money. That graveyard's very valuable. Hit this jump. Ooh, nice. Okay. Glad I didn't mess that up. Okay, grab a sacred tier, the physic, which will be very important as you'll see here shortly. Let's go and grab the spiked crack tier, as well as the axe talisman for some charge attacks. Which I know, charge attacks, crazy, right? Like, why not just press R1 to deal damage? But you'll see that it makes this run like barely viable with all these power-ups, but it's necessary for this run to be possible. There's the spike tier, and now let's get the axe talisman. Conveniently, they're very close to each other. Charge attacks, wouldn't that be way too slow? Normally, yes, but I've put in like probably 2,000 hours or so in practicing this run. Not to backseat, but you can also attach an Ash of War. Haha. Fortunately for you, I've already thought of that. Let's equip the axe talisman, plus 10% damage to charge attacks. Let's buy the rest of the smithing stones here, and that's it. Okay, let's go and get one of the Dectus medallions, which will let us go to Altus Plateau without having to fight too many things. Very fast way. Grab some blood roses. There is a blood crafting recipe there, but I don't think we need it. Honestly, makes it harder, so we're gonna skip it. Yeah, we got through Fort Height without taking damage there, actually. That was probably like 300 hours of practice. There's the first Dectus half. Now we need to go get the second, which we'll have to go all the way to Caelid for. Oh, but why are you going to Limgrave to go to Caelid? After hundreds of hours of scouring for a faster way, not that it really matters, but might as well save time, I found this trapped chest that will warp me to Caelid. It's pretty crazy. brings us to this cave, which actually has some smithing stones, which we can grab for later use. Ooh, nice dodge on the pest threads. That's like the first time I've ever done that, actually. After you get transport in the transporter chap, you have to rest at a grace before you can warp away again. There's another gold seed here we can grab. We're gonna need all the help we can get along the way. This is just a little easy skip. This isn't anything too crazy. Probably like 2 hours of practice. Anyone can really do that. Honestly, maybe like 10 minutes to learn that. Everyone does that skip. Okay, let's see if we can avoid aggroing these Kindred of Rot to go into this church. Nice! Okay, that's good. That's really good. Oh, it is nighttime, that's why. A lot of the time in practice, I have died along the way, so it's not nighttime, so I didn't know. Got another Sacred Tear, which is good. And now let's make our way to get the second Dectus Medallion, as well as another little upgrade for us, which will be the Radagon Source Seal. The Radagon Source Seal increases all of our physical stats by like 5. We take more damage, but I practiced this run for like 4,000 hours now, so it shouldn't be a problem. Here, if you hit the wall with a metal weapon, it will aggro all of these bats to there, you see? So they're less likely to hit you when you're running through the fort. Very big strats. We might get poisoned here, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter. Nice. Okay. Whew, that was probably like 400 hours of practice right there. There's our second medallion, and now let's go and get the source seal that I was talking about. There's a bit of tricky platforming here. I'll see if I can land this jump. Let's grab this golden rune first. Gotta dodge the rat. Nice! Okay, landed the jump. Now just gotta get around this rat. Okay, nice. Here, I'm going to quit out to de-aggro the enemies. This game saves your position like constantly, so you can actually just quit out to reset like enemy aggro. So that way I can just warp out without having to wait. It's a pretty crazy tech. That's most of the setup out of the way. I will just have to get to Liurnia to get the fist weapon itself, so we can actually start progressing through the run. We'll craft the sleep pots now, actually. I need to pick up more mushrooms, though. This jump is actually really tricky. Ooh, nice. Okay, that was like 100 hours or so to practice that and get that down consistently. I still mess it up sometimes, like 60% of the time maybe, but like 40% consistent is enough for me to start doing runs. Now, you might be asking like, oh, it's not a speed run, so why does it matter if you mess up a jump or something? If not, if I mess up a jump or die or something crazy important, once or twice isn't too bad, but usually it happens like 5 to 10 to 30 times, and I just get too frustrated to continue the run, which I'm sure you can all understand. It's a hard game, even with the like 5,000 hours I've put into this run, which is why we need to get all the healing items we can get. There's a secret tier, increase our flask healing, very good. Gotta focus up, get some more upgrade materials from this guy. We already have all the smithing ones, but he sells some smithing twos, which we will get some more along the way here. There's a revenant that spawns here, but if we're fast enough, we can get this smithing stone 3 and get to the warp in time. Nice. Okay, once you start the warp animation, you're actually... Okay, we'll grab this grace to come back to. I'm actually going to be grabbing some more upgrades here, as well as grabbing the academy key. There's a strat here that took like a couple 100 hours of practice. Not too much. To get the key without aggroing him. Nice. Okay, that's very good for us. Now we warp back to the academy. We're going to get the rest of the smithing stones here. Hopefully we can avoid all these enemies. The biggest one being this crab mini boss here. Oh, that's a good cycle. He's not looking at us right now. Wow. Oh, there he goes. Ooh, that was really lucky. Here we're going to get the last upgrade material, and then we're going to go and get the fist weapons themselves. Let's get our flail at the ready. There's the last smithing twos we need. Now this part, it's always really hard to try and find the shack. This area is basically like a maze, but fortunately there's a glowing grace there that kind of points us in the right direction. All right, let's level up to at least 18. And I want to save the rest for the rest of the money for upgrading my weapon. And now I'm going to also upgrade all my flasks here. Do it all at the same time. Nice, a +3 flask, pretty solid. So here's the strat. You just hold L2. It's pretty tough. Hopefully we get good RNG. Nice. Okay, that was like probably the thing I was most worried about in this run. But there's our iron balls. Very good. Now we have our first fist weapon, and we have his helmet too. Let's put that on as kind of a trophy. We actually got the key, so we can take this warp into the academy, and now we can take this second warp to skip a lot of running around the map. Thought this was glitchless? This is glitchless. We are doing no glitches at all. So we actually will be needed to come back here later. We have all the starting upgrades for the iron balls ourselves, but... Oh, what is this? My computer can't handle the power of this run. The flickering lights is going crazy. Okay, we'll grab this grace for safety. This is a tough running section coming up here. Another Sigurd tier, and then we'll be going to Altus to get the Smithing Belbering 2, which will let us upgrade our weapon to plus 12 with all the stones to buy. All right, now we have both the Dectus halves, which took like 500 hours to find probably each. We can actually go right to Altus Plateau, which is pretty crazy routing. That way we don't have to run through the ruin-strewn precipice and fight the magma worm. This just takes out a lot of difficulty out of the run, which helps make it more doable. There's a strat of getting through this area pretty cleanly. You just run straight up the middle. I know, right? Seems crazy. You just run straight up the center of the staircase and you won't get touched. It works every time. Whew. It's close though. It feels like it shouldn't work, but it does. This challenge is really hard. Why I do this to myself? I mean, I just wanted to get into these challenge runs. Sorry, one sec. I gotta focus up here. Okay, nice. Hopefully they don't follow me. Uh-oh. Let's grab this grace, and then it's okay if we die. Okay, nice. They didn't keep following me. That's really lucky for us. Whew. I got to pick up the map. I mean, once you've done this run for about 6,000 hours is like how much I've practiced, you really don't need the map. It would definitely help, especially in that one Liurnia section that I kind of got lost in. Yeah, that's fine. That's an illusory wall, actually. Some people might go into here and not know what's going on, but you just hit that wall and it goes away. It's kind of crazy. So there's the bell bearing upgrade. Oh, nice block. You may be wondering why I always block when I'm running. That's why. That's the only reason why. I'm gonna grab this grace and come back later. There's only the Draconic Tree Sentinel up ahead as being the first boss. So now let's actually go back and get the Golden Vow buff that I was talking about. And then we get one more buff, and then we can start killing some bosses. I think I'll start out with Morgott. I know I'll start with the Morgott, because I've practiced this run for about 6,500 hours or so. And it's just best to start out with Morgott, because one, he's an easier boss, but also he gives a Talisman Pouch to make us even stronger, faster. So let's hit this guy. Nice! Got the dismount. And you can actually take a riposte attack here when he's on the ground, if you dismount him. And that gives us Golden Vow. Very good for the run. And now let's go get our last buff. Going through Caelid is a very scary area, especially those giant birds. You know, let's actually grab this grace first, in case we do die to these crazy enemies going on. We need to come back here to fight Radon as one of the 2 great runes required to get into the capital. Everyone knows that. Which one is harder, Bloodhound's Fang or Fist? I don't know. That's what we're here to find out. For those who don't know, I did a run in the past of Bloodhound's Fang only, and that was a very difficult, but we did manage to beat it. The Scarab is really annoying. Okay, Crag Blade. This is a very useful buff. It's not that strong. It goes with the fist weapon decently okay. So now let's go to Round Table and upgrade our weapon as much as we can. We have our Heavy Iron Ball plus 11. It's gonna be close, but I think that's strong enough to take on Margit here. This fight alone is probably about 1,000 hours of practice. I think I'll want on the Axe Talisman, actually. I will grab this grace in case we die. It's very likely we die. Gonna de-aggro these enemies too. So why I put the weapon in my left hand is so that I can buff with Golden Vow, and then it's only one input to switch to buff to the weapon in my left hand instead of having to swap like twice. But yeah, all right, let's go. Physic first, then Golden Vow, and then Crag Blade. Okay. Here we go. Ah, that's tough. That's fine. Nice stagger. Traded with the boss a bit, but that's fine. Should I get the kill here? Nice! Yes, okay, is a little close there on that fight, but whew, okay. And now we have another talisman pouch, so now we can put on both of our very strong talismans. A little tip here. You can actually tell him to use the main gate, run up to the gate. He says the gate if you cut him off. It's kind of funny, actually. I like just learned that in my recent practice. The gate opens while we level up, and we'll just level damage. Starting now, I think we'll need to start leveling health. Here, there's some ballistas. Whew, very lucky there. That's like, I only have that down like 20% consistent. The luck is on our side today. Okay, got past those enemies. This whole running section probably took about 1,000 hours of practice, mainly for this part right here. Nice dodge. That was probably at least half of those 1,000 hours. So far, so good.
Thank you. Go.
Thank you for the subscription. I really need to focus right now, though. Oh, these birds are very aggressive. Okay. I think we're good. As long as we can grab this grace, it's okay if we die. Nice. Okay. All right, now we go into this next boss. We'll buff up again. Cragblade first, because it lasts longer than the Golden Vow buff. And that's another reason why we keep it in our left hand, because if you fully unequip it, the buff will actually go away. So, got your time. You do a couple things here. That's one of them. Get an attack on first. Big attack. Okay, dodge this. Nice. Nice stagger, and then take the riposte. If you hit him there, he'll actually go into his phase 2 right away. Ooh. See, that's why fist weapons are one of the hardest and worst weapons, is because they're very, like, short range. Ooh, we almost beat him in one cycle there. But yeah, fist weapons aren't too strong to get a one cycle. Very stressful fight out of the way. Honestly, I think Margit is harder, considering we didn't even get hit to this guy. To each their own, you know. That was probably about 500 hours or so. Nice. Okay, we actually don't need his remembrance, so you can actually use the remembrance to get 20,000 runes, which is a lot of money that we're gonna need to finish upgrading our weapon and to level up some more. Godric Remembrance gives you a fist weapon. That is true, but we've already poured our resources into this one, so it would just be way too difficult to try and route and like fight more bosses to get money to upgrade a weapon like that, rather than just using the iron balls. Now let's go fight Radon. The festival's already activated because we grabbed a Grace in the Altus Plateau. If you do that, that'll automatically activate the festival. So I'm actually gonna level health here because this fight is really hard. I'm gonna need all the help I can get. Start the festival. Yeah, this upcoming fight, there's a little trick I'll do at the start here actually, which I kind of accidentally discovered after about maybe 1,000 hours practice on this boss. This boss was one of the ones that took the most practice for sure. So we'll actually run backwards to deload him. Now you might think it's a glitch. We can't hit him during it anyway, so it just kind of refreshes his AI to stop hurting us at the start here. Like that. And now you'll see, kind of shoots off in distance, and then he'll run at us. Crazy strat, I know. We need to actually buff here before he gets to us. Hopefully he gives us the good RNG. He did not, but we can run away and refresh it. We need this RNG or else this fight's impossible. There we go, nice. Now we can hit him as he's doing this attack. It goes all right over you. Ooh, missed there. That's why fist weapons are bad. Dodge that. Nice. Get the riposte. Nice. Good damage. Now he'll go into phase 2. That's a lot of damage. Nice. And at about 600 hours into practice on this boss, I learned that he comes in the way that your character is facing. A lot of people don't know that. I think I'm the only one who knows that, actually. So now he's back in. Hopefully he does his buff. Nice. Okay, that's really good RNG for us. Woo! Nice. That feels good. I don't think I've ever beaten him without taking a hit before. That was a tough one. Let's go. Now we have 2 great runes. So we can go to the capital and get our next weapon. Let's level up some health. These upcoming fights are pretty hard, but then just some more strength. We're going to need all the damage we can get. So the only thing blocking us from our next weapon is the Draconic Tree Sentinel, a pretty difficult boss, but I have an experimental tech that I'm going to try to use. Forgot to use this runic on Radon. Fortunately, we didn't get hit, but whew, gotta dodge these golems and their arrows. Nice, okay. Buff, oh, I did the wrong order. It's so hard to remember all of it sometimes. Fortunately, he does like a little buff sequence here. Nice. There's the experimental strat and nice. Okay. Woo. The sleep stunned him for a bit there to let us get that perfect attack off. Okay, actually, before we go into the capital, I'm going to level a bit more attack here. I'm going to take a detour to that grace we grabbed earlier, because we're going to need this bell ring to get the stones for the Starfist. We already have the smithing bell ring 2, but we need the 1 and 2 stones. So we're going to need the smithing bell ring 1. And it's actually in this cave. It's a pretty long run, but it's very worth it for this weapon. Makes it even more challenging because this weapon's probably worse than iron balls, but I wanted to show off the 7,000 hours or so of practice I put into this run. Now, yeah, a lot of that practice was because I switched weapons, but after about being 4,000 hours in, I was like, ow, what's a few more? This is a maze. It's hard to remember where to go. So there is an experimental strat of jumping down the elevator here. I just kind of showing you right there, that's where you land, but we're not actually going to land there. We're going to go around because we would have died from that fall, but you can do some jumps around to land there safely, and it saves running through this dangerous section, but I only have it like 99% consistent, so it's not really worth the risk for me to do that skip. So I'm just going to go around. This section's pretty hard. I actually use a keyboard strat here, so I ensure that I go straight. I got to line it up. And then I hold W. Nice! Okay. Whew. The keyboard strat probably saved me like hundreds of hours of practice for there, so shout outs to all of those people who play on keyboard. This boss fight can be tough too. I will be buffing up, of course. Watch for the spinning attack. Nice! Okay, clean kill. That was close. That could have gone really bad. And there's the bell bearing. And now let's go back to the capital to get our weapon. Whew. Okay, I'm actually going to be doing a little skip here. That skips running through a lot of the treacherous sections of the capital. A lot of scary enemies. Let's see if I can do this. This probably took about 1,000 hours alone. Jump around here. Okay, looking good so far. We took aggro from the bubble enemy. That should be good. Nice! Okay. Although we will have to do that skip one more time this run. Keep that in mind, keep that in mind. Some platforming here. Probably took about 200 hours to do all this running section. Mostly to memorize it rather than the execution. Because this place is a maze. This guy likes to get stuck sometimes. Good dodge. Took me like 50 hours to figure out how to get around him when he gets stuck there. So far, so good. With this enemy, we're actually going to crouch and he won't notice us. Otherwise, it's impossible to get past him. And let's go and grab the Starfists. Fortunately, this gargoyle does not aggro unless you grab that golden seed or walk close enough to it. There is a really good talisman coming up here. Because this run is so difficult, the Ritual Shield Talisman. It basically gives you a mini protection bubble when you're at full health. Starfists are pretty tucked away. Being such a bad weapon, it's really weird. But let's go ahead and pop that remembrance for some money, and let's go and upgrade it. Starfist is the worst fist weapon, so by extension, probably the worst weapon in the game, but I thought it'd be fun to try a challenge. Okay, let's level up the Starfist now, and we're gonna put the Cragblade on this now too. To keep with the nature of the run, let's put the Golden Vow Ash of War on the other fist weapon. Okay, this tree section is very tricky. Tree enemies can be very dangerous. But fortunately, if you just run past them, they're not too much of a threat. Nice. Okay, should be good. I'm actually not going to be using Cragblade here. Oh, right. We switched the Ashwar. Silly me. Whoops. Alright, well, we're not going to have time to buff at all. Uh-oh, that's really risky for this fight. I really need to put on that magic grease there. He's weak to magic. This is going to be a really tough fight without that. Let's see if we can pull it off still. Good stagger. That's really lucky for us. Ah, I missed there. These weapons are so bad. No! Oh, crap. Oh well. Still got through it. I thought I was dead there, but that's why we level health. That was a close one. We need to level here. And we have another talisman pouch. Let's put on that ritual shield talisman. We'll use Cragblade on this fight. Golden Vow. All right, Morgott. This fight probably took 500 hours to get to like 30% consistent. Let's see if we can do it. Should stagger here. Nice. Take the riposte. Nice. Okay. Run away here for the explosion. Ooh. Oh, that was a tough fight. Okay. Wow, that 1,000 hours on that boss definitely paid off. Yes, dude, that's really satisfying. Let the nerves fade out. Only fist weapons? I know, right? Heart was racing while you pull it off. If your heart was racing, you guys can only imagine how mine feels right now. All right, we gotta do the skip again, right as I started to calm down from the Morgott fight. Nice, okay, that's the hardest part. And then... Nice. Okay. That was close. That was close. No way kill Fire Giant with this weapon. Just you see. Just you see. We have a bit of downtime because there's not really much in between on the way to Fire Giant except for this Exalted Flesh. Give us a nice damage boost. We also need to grab the Smithing Bellbearing 3, which will let us buy the 5 and 6 stones. Ooh, dangerous. Be on the edge like that. It's not, let's play it safe. Stay in the elevator. You know, I would like to take a moment here while we have nothing else to do. Well, first, to grab this grace for safety. Second, if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe. It does mean a lot. I put probably 8,000 hours of practice into this run. If just a couple of you guys subscribe to help support me, that would really mean a lot. This challenge took a lot of my time. You know, it's free to subscribe. Some of you might even think you're subscribed, but you're not, so be sure to double check. Isn't this like a 30-hour run? How are you going so fast? It's because I put in like 8,000 hours of practice into this run. All right, this strat coming up here, short for strategy, is really just kind of running straight past these guys because Torrent is pretty good. I really like Torrent. He's very fun to use, gets us through areas faster, controls very well. There's the Smithing Stone Bellbearing 3. Now we can go upgrade our Starfist even more. I didn't exactly calc how much money I needed. Calc short for calculation, but it should be fine with all that extra stuff. Oh, we can actually buy the talisman pouch here. All right, Starfists locked and loaded. All right, see if we can land this jump. Nice. Okay, now coming up here probably took me about 100 hours, maybe more. I forget. I didn't really keep track too closely. But this Guardian Golem that shoots the bow at you, hopefully I can path this right and have him hit the side of the bridge and not me. Nice. Okay. Hopefully I can make this in time. Nice. Okay. Wasn't too worried about that one. Maybe it'll beat this day or it'll take multiple streams. Well, the goal is to beat it in one sitting. After about 500 hours or so of being stuck going through the normal path and having Borealis attack us, I found this alternate secret path. Now I'm going to need to grab this grace just in case I mess it up, but it's not a glitch. I assure you, I thought my game bugged out for a second at first when I discovered it. I think it's actually an intended thing to be there, and you can actually try it out for yourselves in your own games, which is this right here. This bridge is invisible, which is crazy, I know.
Bro uses cheat code to fly.
It's not a cheat code, but it does look like it, so I don't blame you for thinking that. Shit is straight cheating. it's not. Haters gonna hate, as they say. I'm sure I'll get a lot of comments saying, oh, this run's fake. There's no way you could do this all in one sitting. It's spliced. He cheated. He hacked his game. But I've put in about 10,000 hours of practice. They say when you put in 10,000 hours of practice at something that you're truly a master of it. But for fist weapons, I don't think anyone can really master these. Impossibly difficult to use that you can only barely manage to use after like 10,000 hours of practice. All right, now we have Fire Giant. This boss probably took me about 690 hours of practice. Let's see if we can pull it off. Nice little jump there. That was about 200 hours of that practice. Ooh, good damage. Really good damage. Nice. Buff up here. See if we can get a stagger here. Oh, he's doing the super volcano attack. Nice, good interrupt. Nice eyeball hit. He takes bonus damage on his eyeball. So you want to hit him there if you can. Go for R1s to build up the bleed procs here. Maybe you can get a bleed in time. Ooh, nice dodge. Where's the bleed proc? There it is. Nice. I was really worried about that fight, but we got through it. We got through it. My heart is pounding, dude. Deep breaths. Okay, do I need to take a break? No, I'm okay. We have just a running section. Oh, actually, no, this running section's pretty difficult to get through before Godskin Duo, but I practiced it for about 300 hours, so it should be fine. Anyone ever done this run before? No, I don't think anyone has. I think I'm the only one to do this run. But now I'm in Fair Missoula, and we only have 5 bosses left. More like 7 or 8 if you count the separate bosses, but now this is kind of just the gauntlet of the run. Okay, let's see if we can get past these guys. Nice, okay. Ah, yep. No amount of practice can honestly make this area completely consistent. It's unreactable, that attack, honestly. Let's heal up, get our ritual shield talisman back on. Watch for the lightning. Otherwise, fortunately, you can just run past this guy. I thought you had to kill him to proceed, but you can just run past him, actually, so. GameFAQs taught you that one. I think that's where I learned it too, actually. Gotta watch for this area. Nice, okay. Jump over the railing here. Took some fall damage, but it's okay. As long as we just keep going, shouldn't be hit by these guys. Ooh, the arrow. That was really lucky dodge. Nice, okay. Whew. Okay, out the grease. Dodge this guy, nice, okay. Now, you might be thinking, how is he gonna beat Godskin Duo? Well, I came up with the strat that probably took me about 1,000 hours to figure out. I don't have any extra sleep pots, so we're gonna have to just go for it. I need to focus up here. Basically, you just aim the sleep pots in the right spot. And then trigger it. Oh, we got hit, but that's okay, it's okay. Alright, alright, alright. We should be good here. Oh, that's bad. It's fine, though. Ooh, not so fine. This is why it's one of the most difficult bosses. But he will just circle around you. Okay. Nice. Okay. Yeah, you can actually keep hitting them after they die. Throw the sleep pot early. Get in with him. Oh, he didn't sleep. Uh-oh. I threw it too early. Should be fine though. Nice, he gives good RNG. We're able to stagger him out of that move. Otherwise, we just lose the run right there. Nice! Oh, okay. A very scary situation, but we got through it. Now we can upgrade our weapon even more. Nice, a plus 24 weapon. We could get a plus 25, but it's a very risky section to go and get it. With all the lightnings and the birds, it's basically impossible to get through with fist weapons, so I will be doing a skip around the birds. I call it bird skip. I hit that pillar to aggro the enemy below me so that I can do this risky jump into this next risky jump without getting hit by his boomerangs. Nice. Okay, I actually grabbed this talisman here to give us some more defense, because as you saw in that last fight, it was really close. Because our damage is so bad, we need everything we can get. For burst skip is 50-50 chance you get it or you don't. Basically, yeah. And that's why I grabbed the grace there in case I do mess it up. Okay, that's not even the bird skip, but that alone is the hard part about it. All right, let's see if we can do this. It's the hardest skip in the game. It's all right, we practice quit outs for about 3,000 hours, so we can quit out in time. Okay, second try. That's really good. Getting that first try is impossible. I've never gotten it first try in any of my runs, so we'll take that. We didn't die. We were able to quit out in time. I will grab this grace here for backup, because Malekith is the hardest boss in the game, I'd say. He is the ruler of destined death. I don't know. I don't have time to pay attention to the lore of the game. It's hard enough as it is. I don't have time for that. I had to put all my time into practicing this run. Okay, past this guy. Fortunately, he just buffs up, and we can just run past him, but he can hit us through the wall here, so we gotta watch out. Okay, we're good, we're good. Buff up before he fully fights us. All right. Okay, practice boss for about 10,000 hours. That's a lie. It was only 2,000, but difficult fight, difficult fight. It's the hardest move in the game. Okay, good damage. Gotta heal up here. Okay, phase 2, this is the hard part. Nice! All right. Whew. First try, Malekith. Yes, dude. Even though you could beat him, yeah, I can imagine a lot of people getting stuck on him and giving up there, but this run is proof that anything is possible as long as you put enough time into it. Wife's giving birth right now. I can't look away from this. Honestly, understandable. This is probably the craziest run anyone's ever attempted. Especially this next fight, Sir Gideon Ofnir the All-Knowing. This fight is probably the one I put the most practice into. But we're gonna use all the buffs we can get here.
She'll take the throne. Queen Margaret has high hopes for us, that we continue to struggle.
Nice! Okay. Woo. Almost went really bad. Really tough fight there. Gonna name the baby. Best part about Gideon is that we can use his armor now. We need every bit of damage we can get here for this upcoming fight. The Elden Lord himself, Godfrey, also known as the Elden Chad. Okay. Ah, that move's really hard to dodge. Let's take this chance to heal up here, play it safe. Nice stagger. Whew. Okay, he should buff up here. And then we can get a free hit in. But unfortunately, fist weapons are very bad. Should be able to clutch it out. Nice! Okay. Whew, scary situation there. Okay, one last boss, It's not over yet. Don't celebrate yet, chat. Everything into strength. We need all the damage we can get here. This boss fight probably took me about 4,000 of the hours to practice out of the total 12,000 I spent on the run, but here we go. Wow, really good RNG. If we didn't get that, I think the run was just over there. Ooh, nice. Really tough fight. Okay, but now we have Elden Beast. Okay. Nice. Okay. Nice! Yes! Oh my god. Fist weapon only run complete. Oh my god. Oh, my heart is pounding, dude. We did it. Oh my god, we did it. That's crazy, dude. Oh my god. It took me like 15,000 hours to get this run. Oh my god. I have no words besides thank you. Thank you, chat, for watching me and for supporting me along the way. All right, I need a couple minutes to go and de-stress. Thank you for watching, though. Until the next incredibly crazy hard challenge, thanks for watching.